Bonjour! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Fasten up your seatbelt and enjoy this journey into Muse World with Lamia Nobel. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Muse World. So, today I have Anton with us.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, Mia. Thank you very much. And how are you?
Good, very good. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your time. Anton, how do you describe what you do? What's your profession?
First of all, Mia, thank you for inviting me.
Oh,
It's a pleasure to being with you here.
thank you.
My path started long back ago.
Mhm.
Now what I'm doing is I'm channeling to the people, reaching them the level of their strength and their force and their power.
Okay.
So I'm providing the people through their layers of mind
Mhm.
and subconsciousness and consciousness to reach the spiritual path, to reach the spiritual power and the inner self.
So, how would you describe? Like, who are you? Are you a holistic coach? Are you? How would people call you?
To be honest,
Or you don't have any name?
to be honest, the word coach itself,
Okay.
for me, it's something where one person teaches another person how to live
Yes.
or how to be.
True.
In my point of view, we are all good enough
Okay.
to do ourselves. So my own vision, how it works, is that I just support
Okay.
in some moments to the person for themselves to find their inner strength. Because all of us, we are gods in the bodies. We are sparks, these souls which came to play this game of life.
Mhm.
And all of us having this information inside. This is the amazing part where we can find the answers here. And that's where, if we touch the base,
Mhm.
let's say, it's possible to find the answer inside and to find the path to bring ourselves back to the core.
True. And I mean, I must say, obviously, I met you at the PXB event where I remember I saw the board and I was, the moment I saw you, I was like, okay, I want to go and try it. Because at the beginning, I thought it was tarot cards. And I was like, oh, I love that. I'm fascinated by that. But obviously, then you explained to me about the mystery of the Leela, correct?
Yeah.
So before we touch and you explain to us what is that all about for people that don't know or are unaware, I want to understand how long you've been in Dubai and where are you from originally?
All right. So I'm originally from Russia.
Okay.
I'm Russian. I've been born in one small countryside city
Mm-hmm.
with less than 100,000 people in there.
Okay.
Originally from Russia, but in Dubai from 2017.
Okay.
So more than 7.5 years already.
Mm-hmm.
So the way to come to Dubai was actually a little bit strange
Okay.
because that time in 2016, first time I touched this knowledge. I touched the Leela board.
Okay.
I played the Leela in
Okay.
2016. And in that moment, I decided that I need to change the place of living. And in 1 year,
Mm-hmm.
after the process, the life completely changed. The life attracted the people, resources, everything, which allowed me just to move from one point to another point, changing completely my life, bringing myself back, bringing me more joy in my life, more, different people, different environment, different countries, different, um, everything changed.
I love that. Okay. So what is the Leela? Tell me about it. I have a vague idea because I remember you've explained to me, but give us exactly the understanding. You mentioned it's a game, but it helps you to understand your path and the way ahead. So explain, what is it exactly? How was it found? Who found it? Tell me all about it.
I believe you know the game, which is like for the kids, which was created long time back, Snakes and Ladders.
Yes.
I think most of the people knows about this game.
Yes.
So this kids board is just 1% from what the spiritual, ancient Vedic knowledge Leela Experience is about.
Okay.
Leela Experience, translated from Sanskrit, it's ancient Vedic knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
All the board written in the Sanskrit language,
Mm-hmm.
which is the language of images,
Mm-hmm.
very ancient. One word can explain, for example, the autumn or something happening.
Okay.
The language of images, very ancient. The board, which allows us to look into our soul desires. Leela from Sanskrit, translated as a game of gods.
Okay.
Game of gods, considering that all of us are sparks, the souls living this life in this earth. The game of gods which came here to live and to play this game of life.
Okay.
Considering this, Leela board used or can be used as an instruction to the human being life.
How, like, let's say, how does it start? So let's say I come to you and I ask you, Anton, I want to have a session with you. I know there's the dice.
Yeah.
And then you throw the dice.
Yes.
But then how do you start? How, I understand the do you have to complete the whole game to have, or do you ask a question, or is it an intention?
Yeah.
Like, do I ask them, for example, okay, what is my next step in my career? You know?
Yeah.
So I want to know, I'm very because this is something that really fascinates me, and
Yeah.
I was always like very interested about that.
Yeah. Thank you for the question, me. It's very like deep question about what Leela is and how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing is that all of us human people, we are having hundreds of questions.
Yeah.
Daily we have thousands of thoughts, tons of NKGs and terabytes of information going through us. All of those hundreds and thousands are questions are not important for the soul desire, for what we came to experience.
Yeah.
The soul mostly coming to experience the emotions in this life. That's the only thing which we will bring back home with us. Everybody's coming home, no exception.
Yeah.
We are coming here, we are coming back home after the journey of life. So when the Leela comes into your life, it's happening long before you even come to the process. It's happening when you first heard about it and something touches your soul. Something attracts you to find what it is. What is the meaning? What is the process? Who can do the session for me? This is entire spiritual practice. It's called Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga is the yoga of wisdom, yoga of knowledge.
Okay.
As I said, the ancient Vedic tradition. There is no magic. There is no something like as we will dance with something around the board.
Yeah.
The process is very simple. The process allows us to deep dive into ourselves.
Okay.
The Leela is the practice of the self-awareness.
Okay.
Most of the times we are forgetting here who we really are. And that's what Vedic knowledge says, going through Maya. Maya is the illusion of this world, of this material, of this body. We are forgetting who we really are. Leela allows us to remember who we are, to remember ourselves, to touch the soul desires to reprogram the subconsciousness through the movement on the board. As you know already, the process goes with the dice. The dice is the tool. How the guides, angels, whoever you believe in, actually all of us are guided.
Yeah.
We are having connection. Feel this or not, it's happening. Through our higher self, through our spiritual guides, through our angels, whoever you believe in. Soul for all of us can be different. True. But strongly, whoever allows to feel it, feel the guidance. Feel that every step is planned within the people, within the situations, within ourselves. Coming to know the Leela and coming to the practice itself, we are like aligning. First of all, we do the alignment to slow down a little bit, because we are all running somewhere all the time, and we need to align. And then the intention or the question which comes. Most of the times, as I said, we have thousands of these thoughts which are coming through us. It's not the initial intention or the question which might be the ticket to enter the Leela experience. The one which really important for the soul will be shown by rolling the dice and having 6.
Okay.
There are 72 cells on the board. 72 cells which represents the feelings, emotions, everything which we are going through the entire process of life. Okay. 7 first levels is the levels of chakras. Sushumna channel in the middle. 7 chakras, our energy centers. Okay. And then Ida and Pingala, masculine and feminine, day and night, yes. Black and white. Duality which we are, true. Which the world is. That's the human structure. And there is 8 level. The 8th level, which represents the level of soul, the source. Okay. The soul and the energy which we take with us to the game of life. That's how the board of Leela shows us the patterns, the focuses of the attention, the important messages which we might get after we enter the process with the 6 on the dice, staying in Vaikuntha Loka, the cell number 68. That's where everything starts. Okay. House of Soul, the 8th level. Okay. And that's where everything will be ended. The same cell only. No other cell. There is no you remember the snakes and ladders?
Yes.
You need to go to the end
yes.
of the board.
Yes.
In Leela board, you need to come back home.
Okay.
Which represents the life itself. We come to this life and we're coming back home as a soul, as energy.
Okay.
The thing is, you can spend hours.
Yes, I have heard this.
Yeah.
I have heard that obviously if to have a session and do actually play the Leela, it can take almost a whole day.
Yeah.
What is the longest you've done?
It was a very interesting process.
Okay.
We spent one day full 19 hours, and then we come back. And the second day, 6 more hours. So in total, 25 hours, one person was going through the board. But it's not the rule. It's all depend. All depend on the person and how many messages are pending to be delivered and how much far we are from our authentic self, from our self, from our soul desires, from who we really are. You know, spirituality is not something which is very like cloudy, which people like to think that you need to sit in the cave, meditate 30 years, something like that, right? Spirituality is where we live our life, where we are connected with our soul desires, with ourselves, and we move throughout the life as we believe right for ourselves. When we listen to our inner voice, when we move like as we want it to be. That's for me, the full connection with ourselves is a part of the spiritual world of us, or spiritual part of us.
Okay.
Not dividing spiritual, not spiritual. It's all, we are
We're one. Yeah.
one.
That is beautiful. I really like the way that you describe spirituality, because I feel like this is also another topic that is very controversial.
Yeah.
People have a distinct idea of what spirituality is all about, but when I like the fact that you mentioned that obviously it's a way to connect with ourselves, you know? I mean, with our soul, rather. That would be the best way. Now, again, let's go back to the Leela.
Okay.
What do you think was, obviously I'm not sure if you're allowed to share that, but if you are, what do you think was the most fascinating experience you had personally with the Leela?
I will talk about my own.
Of course.
My own process, which the first time happened to me. It was 12 hours.
Oh, wow, okay. That's long.
The thing is, I entered the game, or I entered the board, I entered the process only after 8 hours of rolling the dice, staying on number 68 Vaikuntha Loka, by trying to understand what is really important for me right now. To do so and to enter what I understood later on, I had to listen to others. That's the trick. Coming to any practice, being yoga, being anything, Leela is Jnana yoga. Coming to any practice, if we are sensitive enough to listen to others, we will get some insights and messages from the mirrors of their stories.
True. I agree, yeah.
That's how, when we come as a group to the session, or when the people comes to the session as a group, they all find themselves helpful for each other. That's how Leela shows the unity of the souls between
all of us.
And there is no any coincidence in the group. Whenever 10 people book the session and only 2 comes, means these 2 has to be here. The Leela itself attracts the people, and if I don't have to be there, something will happen, like something will stop me to come to the session this time. Maybe it's not the time yet. But whenever we are ready to talk, because this is first of all the honest dialogue with ourselves.
Okay.
We will come, we will be attracted, because the soul has no other choice, another option to talk to ourselves.
Of course, yeah.
Rather than just bringing us somewhere, attract us to some people or some community or some practice which is needed right now. So my first experience was amazing. I did not realize what happened after that. I was just young. I was searching for something.
Okay.
I was actually always eager to find something beyond the logic.
Okay, I like that. Okay.
And my researches brings me to Leela. It was 2016, as I said already.
Yeah.
And this process, I would not say that I did a lot. Like, when we do the session with like using the mind,
Mm.
working on ourselves, making the discipline to do something, so and so on. I will not say I did a lot. I was just playing the game.
Okay.
In this simple idea to play the game and that the life is a game, a lot of potential is there. Because when you let it go of the complication that you have to decide something, you have to work on yourself, you have to. When you let it go of, lots of things just disappear itself. And the life becomes a streamlined arrow.
Okay.
That's actually what arrows meanings on the board. When we come to the energy which allows us to streamline our movement.
Okay.
And then 4 hours I was rolling
Okay.
throughout the snakes as well on the board, understanding what important messages are there. I was maybe going up and down, up and down. You imagine 4 hours. I was just moving 4 hours, ups and downs. So then I don't remember already, because the long time back it happens, what came to my life. But from the practice now, what I understand, or what I came as a conclusion to, we are during the process of the simple game, we reprogram our subconsciousness.
Okay.
The messages which comes through the facilitator or the guide, or me as a guide in the process, allows to honestly look to what my delusions are.
Okay.
Find some delusions which already working against me, not for me, which already does not fit my reality. And then allow myself to accept the idea that something can be different. I can already let go of something which don't serve me anymore. All the constructions which we built in our mind, it's our own constructions.
Yeah.
Nobody gives it to us, like, take it, or you have to take it, or something.
That's true. I agree.
That's where the self-awareness or self-knowledge process, or I would not say it's like a work, it's a game.
Of course. Yeah.
And through this simple gamification of the life, for me, what happened that time is that I just exit after the end of the process, and the next day my life start to change.
Okay.
I felt it from bottom of my heart, because some people just start to disappear. They show themselves. They show them their real face, not the mask which they used to use.
True.
I start to see the things which were against me, the lies which happens and everything. I realized that time that, this feeling when you wake up in the morning and you understand that you are in the different world.
Yeah.
In the different reality. You are in the same earth, but in the different reality. That's what actually happened to me.
That's crazy.
Not necessarily this will happen to all
yeah,
the people who
yeah.
comes,
But it's so interesting, because what I'm understanding is that it's also a great lesson to understand that at sometimes we are our own enemies, like our brain, our way of thinking, our perspective are basically what could be playing against us.
Yeah.
And if it's just a matter of like maybe thinking outside the box or just shifting a perspective can give you such a different vision of what you're currently thinking. Now, obviously, I've always been very intrigued from the day that I still remember that little, the stand in PXB. I still remember, and I was already very curious. And if I'm not wrong, you were also here at the villa opening of Nadine's in Kanu. Yeah. And I remember there was the big one. That's the actual one was here. And I was like, oh my, obviously there was a lot of people. So it was hard to kind of understand how to start and navigate. But just seeing it, it was like, oh my God, this is really interesting, of just rolling the dice and just going with, I would say, correct me if I'm wrong, if someone is starting, should they go with actually no expectation and just go with, I'm intrigued about this and let's just go and go forward with it, roll the dice and see what's happening and where it will guide us. Because I feel like very often if you set yourself a certain expectation, you're already blocking the answers to come to you, right?
Yeah. That's actually the best preparation to the process.
Okay.
Lots of people asking, how should I prepare myself to the session? I said the best preparation is just relax and come ready for the deep dive.
I love that. But tell me something.
Yeah.
Have you encountered anyone, obviously, anyone that would challenge the thought of the Leela and would tell you, no, Anton, this is not true. I don't agree with that. Or this is maybe, this is just a game. You know what I mean? How do you approach or explain to, obviously I understand. For me, I always say, like, listen, we all have our own belief and understanding of life, which is which is acceptable. Like for me, if certain things is a way, I don't expect everyone to accept it. But then how do you explain to people that the Leela is not just a game, it's more than that? Obviously, because it's a game that they have to experience to understand what it's all about. But how do you approach that?
That's the difficult part. Still, finding words, because not always you can find a word to explain something which exists, which we do not understand.
Sure.
Something beyond the logic which I was looking for, and I believe I found it.
Mm-hmm.
And after already 6 years of practices of Jnana yoga, the Leela Experience, providing it to more than 1,000 people already, being initiated in India into the Mystery of Leela, I still struggle to explain what Leela is in words. But I can show it. Come to the process and you will find out what Leela is. This is the best way. The practice of life is the best way to understand the life. But then, what I assure you, what you will not have. Okay. You will not have advices from my side, from my personality on your life. You will not have structures to go and do. You will not have a magical pill to take it and go and live your life. What you will have most of the times clarity on your own desires, clarity on your soul structures and energies, clarity on where the situations where we stuck sometimes and we do not move. The beauty of the Leela board is that it's the mirror of the soul. Literally, mirror of the soul. When you start the process, the movement, the snakes, the arrows, the movement through the rolling of the dice, showing us That's my role to open the meanings of the places where you step in, and that meanings 100% about whoever comes in, whoever enter. We have, as a soul, we have unique way of life, all of us, each of us. Despite on we are all the same, we are human, but we are unique. There is something in each of us which creates this beautiful picture of life, the big puzzle. And each small puzzle is a different story, different life. That's how Leela reflected. And whoever comes, that's how I decided to jump in, to deep dive into it. Because I saw it, I felt it by myself several times. And then I decided to engage myself with Jnana Yoga, to fall in love with Leela Experience, and to just dive, dig into it. And then where it brings me to nowadays is that I'm starting the new community of the spiritual, holistic spiritual community, which is about the self-awareness and self-knowledges and the modalities to find ourselves, to bring ourselves back. So the best way to understand it is to practice. As I said, there are a number of donation-based processes. There are a number of sessions which I do, like open sessions where you can come and experience it almost for free, for maybe price of the cup of coffee.
Wow, okay.
But that's how the only way, what I just found till now, that's the best way to know what is Leela.
Okay.
But there are some words which are there. I'm not saying that I do nothing and don't put any words there. As we already spoke with you today, the mirror of the soul, literally the mirror of the soul. You can just have instruction to your life, your unique life, not the life of myself, not the life of somebody else. It's not the united instruction to a human being life. It's just unique instruction to the life of the entire person.
I want to try now. I really want to. I really want to give it a shot. Let's.
You're most welcome.
I will definitely reach out to you, because it's very interesting, because I feel like, for example, for me, I'm going to use myself as an example, is I can be a big overthinker to a point that I start doubting myself, my own decision, you know? I can be like, very often, I very recently, I had a career shift, I would say. And before I make this decision, I was doubting myself so much. I knew I had the answer, but I was doubting myself so much that I was like, oh my God, like 3 weeks to make one decision that I knew from day one. But because, you know, you're like back and forth, and you're like, am I doing the right thing? But I think what I would love to try to achieve is obviously understand where is that overthinking coming from, and how to obviously stop it. You know, that's the main thing. And why, one thing I'd never understood, and I still struggle, is why sometimes I doubt my own, you know, that gut feeling that people say.
Yeah.
We all have this. It's all in within. And I always say to people, whatever you feel in your gut, follow that.
Yeah.
I'm the one who struggles with it. That's the funny part of it. But obviously, I will definitely come and do a session with you. But before, you mentioned to me that you have a new project.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit more about the project.
So what comes to me in 1st of February, I just quit from my corporate career.
Okay, wow. Congratulations, I must say.
Thank you very much. And that's where the Atman project was born.
Okay.
It came to me through the channeling, the name itself.
Yeah.
The name means our authentic self, our higher self, the Atman.
Okay.
It's our seventh body. It's Sahasrara chakra, the seventh body, and our authentic self,
Okay.
which represent the self-awareness, self-knowledge. The project, which, as my idea is, will include the modalities to acknowledge who we are, the tools which we can use daily
Okay.
for, as you said, taking this decision without doubts.
Okay.
To be honest, what I'm doing right now, I'm making the packs
Okay.
and the teaching course,
Mm-hmm.
which where you can take this box to your house, read the instruction, or having the each cell, for example, explanation, brought to the reality, to the real world,
Okay.
and go through it, read these explanations, and make it with your family, with your friends, but not like, the game for to win,
Okay.
but the process to acknowledge what is important right now and to clear your doubts.
That's really nice. And I've been thinking about this since we've been talking, and I think is this project still under the same ideology of the Leela, which is still a game, or no?
No, this Atman project includes different modalities.
Okay.
So, for example, sound healing and chakras reading, chakras healing, and then Leela Experience, Jnana yoga, then some other yogas will be there for sure. But I want to make it light. I want it to be a community where people will be able to self-educate themselves from the short courses, for example, take the tools which they comfortable with.
Okay.
Because there are a number of tools which exists which we don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
That's through the years of my research, I found a lot of tools which actually we have but we are not using.
I agree.
Because we are learning something else which is useless in life. However, there are tools which are useful. So I see, I feel the calling to bring it up to life, bring it up to the people so anybody can use it. And that's where there will be also the educational platform. So anybody can go through the short courses for themselves, for the self-awareness, for the tools, how to use them at home, how to use them for themselves. And of course, there will be like education for those who want to make it a path.
Okay, that's really nice.
And that's where I believe it's not my own community. I want to make it a community of like-minded people. So
really nice.
the core of people who will be there are the ones who like move together, move forward. And of course, there is no, I feel that we are all on our own paths and there is no harm to just go in and go out. But being authentic, that's what is important.
And this Atman project, did you get that calling by playing the Leela?
It was combined. I made a Leela process for myself with a channeling.
Okay.
That's what actually I do for people also. It's opened in myself after my initiation in 2022 in India. The ability to channel the messages to the people through whoever you believe in, the spiritual guides from
Wow. Okay.
from there. So through the Leela process, it's happening by itself through me. But the way how I found it, it was I have a friend, and she was providing me the process itself with the channeling as well, because it's hard to make the same things for ourselves.
Of course, yeah, I
And
can
we-
imagine.
So it was, I think, a week process, slowly,
Wow. Okay.
slowly,
Throughout
maybe
like the day or just a couple
just
of hours?
1 hour per day or
Okay.
something. So I was not in hurry.
Mm-hmm.
I was finding what is important.
Mm.
So I didn't stick. That's also an option. If we are not finished in, for example, 3 hours in a day, we can make a break
Mm-hmm.
and then come back another day. The only rule is that once the process is started, it has to be finished.
Okay.
That's the only thing which is important. As we are opening ourselves on the board, our soul, and it's good to close it back. So through this week of every day, like channeling and Leela boards, I just realized that the time has come.
Okay. And when you have that answer, is there any doubt that comes to you? Obviously,
Of course.
like when you have that calling and you're like, okay, so now I'm going to resign from my corporate job and I'm going to work on this project and trust that this is the calling. How do you overcome that doubt? Because obviously you're leaving something that is giving you, I must say, stability to embark into a whole new world that you're not sure yet what is waiting for you.
Yeah.
So how do you navigate that?
I start to feel myself and this calling and messages from when I was initiated. To be honest, I always was open to something which is calling from the inside, but I did it unconsciously before. Then the next level was, then I started to hear it and I started to listen to it a little bit, not all the time. But then the last year was the change, which showed me that even though you have nothing to do, you will be fine. There was a month which where I almost had zero funds from the company which I was working for.
Oh, really? And then how do you...
And that's the thing. Nothing happened. Everything was fine. I had myself. I had my knowledge. I had things which I do for people. And the more light from the inside going out, the more attracted from the outside. And that month last year showed me that the time has come. Of course, I was worried about how to jump out from the corporate, because another country, you need visa, you need all this stuff and everything. You need funds to start the business if you want to start the business, or you need another job to have visa and to have some fundamental, like, funds, something. But then when I trust my inner voice, when I jump out from the corporate, it's actually, I took decision in the mid of December.
Okay.
And that's where the end of January was the last day.
Okay.
So 1.5 months. But everything from the outside was showing me that the time has come. Starting from the small things to the things which where I've been having nothing in 1 month, which was related, of course, to my actions, which brings that results for me. But that was the moment where I realized that everything will be fine.
Okay.
So the 1st February was the first day. And then you remember there was a Kayan festival.
Yes, I do.
And I
do.
was there for all 3 days. Plus,
Okay.
I was in the 29th, where the closed community of the healers was there, and Estas Tonne was there.
Yes.
And then the first sign that I did the right choice was that I personally met Estas.
Wow. Okay.
He also experienced the Leela,
Okay.
and we spoke a lot, and we shared the context with each other, and now we decided to do something bigger with him.
That is beautiful.
And that's where I realized that these signs are one by one coming. It means something. It means that I'm moving in the right direction. And next was Sadhguru, of course, lot of healers, lots of practices, 3 days of the spiritual practices and all this stuff. But most importantly, I feel myself so calm without, or with, let's say, with ability. I still was doing something which I love to do with all my heart. And I actually love to do the corporate job as well, because the thing which I was just creating was amazing.
Okay.
But then when you put the focus of your attention to something which is really going through you, it gives you like expansion.
Yeah.
That's where what happened, and now the Atman company is legally established.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you. And
That
then,
is beautiful.
and by the way, the Atman company was established in the holy night of Mahashivaratri, the night of Shiva. It was 26 to 27 February. So
Wow.
all the things are coming one by one. And that's, for me, it's showing that the path is
clear.
It's clear.
I love that. And I like it because it's a great reminder of, actually understanding the signs. I believe a lot into signs, I believe a lot into certain signs that will try to redirect you. I always believe, like, sometimes where certain things happen to us, if let's say it was something bad, would be like, oh, why is this happening to us, But then now when I take a step back and I look at why this happened to me, and I was like, it was to direct you towards this direction, But if you create resistance, you will never actually be able to reach where you're supposed to reach, And I feel like that the power of trusting the process and understanding that whatever is meant to be will be, because there's that much control we have in this world. I have control of, obviously, what I want to eat, where I want to go, but there's other things that are absolutely out of our control.
Yeah.
And once you understand that and you just allow it to be, I think that's when you realize that how much life have for you or waiting for you,
Yeah.
And it's so funny that we're talking about this today, because I was speaking to a friend of mine yesterday night who's currently struggling with his personal life and with career, I would say. And he's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. At this, I'm like this, I'm like that. And I said, listen, I just said to him, I said, I can have all the words for you, but until and unless you decide to change your mindset and shift your perspective, even if I tell you tomorrow will be sunny, you will not believe me. So it's just understanding that, if you stay stuck into something and you're not allowing things to come towards you, you will forever be stuck.
Yeah.
And that is beautiful. But I could stay here forever with you.
Yeah.
And ask you all the questions.
Likewise.
But unfortunately, we will have to soon end the episode. But before we do so, I have a little bit of a tradition.
Okay.
I have not told you because I don't want guests to, be like worried about it, but it's nothing bad. It's a couple of, I like to end the episode with some thoughtfulness. Let's put it like this.
Okay.
So what I have planned is a couple of what if questions.
Okay.
So I'll put this and then we'll move to the second segment, which is rapid fire questions, which is a bit fun, deep, depending on the questions. And then the last bit I'll explain to you afterwards.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right. So, what if that moment never happened? Would you still find the Leela?
Of course.
What if life itself is just a game we forgot we were playing?
We do.
Okay. What if the Leela holds the key to breaking free from limitation we place on ourselves?
Definitely, it is. Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. What if everything we take so seriously is actually just part of the game?
Definitely, it is a game.
Yeah. What if playing the game consciously could make life easier, more fun, and more fulfilling?
For sure.
Okay. What if our biggest resistance to understanding the Leela is our own fear of surrendering control?
Not necessarily.
No?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
We are still playing. So we just, if we take it easy,
yeah,
whatever happens for a reason.
True.
If we are closed, if we had a pain and we are closed emotionally, there is a reason for that. We need to go through it. And to how to understand the light, if you are in the open space in the daytime, you need to be in the black room to see the light, to see the difference.
Okay.
That's where this duality works. And we need to feel the pain, we need to feel the struggle, we need to find the complications to find ourselves and to find the simplification.
I like that. So the last one is, what if life isn't about finding meaning, but about playing fully and enjoying the ride?
100% correct.
Yeah.
The purpose of life is life itself. To play this game of life, to enjoy this life, to enjoy the moments. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense.
I love that. All right. Now you're ready for the rapid fire question?
Sure.
Okay. I love this segment. This is literally one of my favorite parts.
Okay.
Let's start. Describe Leela in one sentence.
Life.
Okay. What's the biggest aha moment you've had about the Leela?
When I first tried.
Okay. One book or movie that best represent the idea of the Leela?
Jumanji.
Oh, really? I love that. What's one illusion people live by that Leela helps to break?
That life is complicated.
Okay. If Leela had a soundtrack, what kind of music would it be?
Bon Jovi, It's My Life.
Oh, I love that. And I love that song too. What's the weirdest or the most mind-blowing realization you've had while exploring the Leela?
That I exist and do not exist in the same time.
Ooh, okay. That is interesting. All right. What's one thing about life that you see differently now because of the Leela?
Life is very simple.
Okay.
Just play it.
I like that one. What's one what if question about the Leela you would leave to the audience?
What if you have instruction to your life written in this board? Would you use it? Do you want to understand who you really are? Do you want to understand who is me? Because definitely this body is not me. There is somebody, me, who is living through this body, acknowledging himself through whatever I do. Talking to you right now, seeing this microphone, touching this body, touching this chair, sitting on this chair. Definitely somebody is there. So there is opportunity, and what if it's really worth it? Will you try?
This is so nice. I love it. That is really nice. And my last one, which is by far my favorite one. If you had one advice to give to your younger self, what would it be?
Trust your inner voice.
Perfect. I love that. Anton, thank you so much.
This was
such a pleasure. Before I leave you, I want to ask you, obviously, so I have a last tradition. Let me get my book. So this is basically something that I introduced in 2025. With a couple of guests, we started it already, whereby I asked each of my guests to write an advice or a quote that resonate to them and that they think could help someone else. So they don't know who's the next guest, obviously, and I just say that to the next guest. And before you leave, I would just request you to write one advice or a quote for the previous one. So the whole purpose of this is that by the end of the year, once I have enough quotes, what I would love to do is a deck of cards for people to be able to receive it and kind of have a way to motivate yourself. It's a bit of like a self-help deck that you would have, that you will pull out and you'll be like, okay, you know, and like I said, like we've discussed, everything happens for a reason. And you'd be surprised that sometimes when you will pull one of these cards, what's the message waiting for you there?
Yeah. All right. Sure. For sure, I will do that.
Okay.
And after all, first of all, thank you, Mia.
Thank you.
And thanks to your world that it does exist.
Thank you.
Just want to remind the guests that you have your own world. All of us having our own world, which we are living in. Live it through. Fully. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your world. Build your own story. And to support this and to give something beyond expectations, I would love to first of all invite you to the Leela process.
Thank you.
And invite all the guests of Mia's World podcast to the Leela process, to the Leela Experience in Dubai. And for those who are not in Dubai, online, we will provide the code, which will be related to the Mia's World, and will give the best possible option for the people who are watching this video.
This is amazing. Thank you so much, Anton. Really, this is such a blessing, such a beautiful gift. And please, anyone, do reach out to me on either my Instagram or Anton's Instagram. And then we'll reach out to you personally with the code so you can have your session as well, because I'm definitely coming. I really want to have that experience. And really, thank you so much for doing this for me, for the community, for the people out there, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. So before, I will just read you this and then I'll end. So
the message.
I had 2 guests last week, but funny enough, they wrote almost very similar things. So I'll read both. One said, read, learn, practice, and experience how things are crazy and as they may seem. Okay. The second one wrote, take the leap of faith. Life does get better. Make sure to not look away.
Okay.
Yeah. Just before I give you this and I end the episode, where can we find you on social media?
Yeah. There is Instagram account, Mystery of Leela.
I will tag everything in the description.
You can find myself. My name is Anton Putilin. I'm in Dubai. You can find me in Soham. You can find me in Kiani. You can find me in Instagram with Mystery of Leela. You can find me in Tattva Yoga Ashram. Please, anytime, welcome, reach me out for any possible collaborations like this and for the sessions which you're interested in. And overall, this week, I've decided to start the first education group for the Leela Experience, for the practitioners, for the healers, which are already practicing. So I believe that whoever wants to reach out to, first of all, understand what is Leela Experience, you come to the session, and then the start of the first course already this week, and there will be more. So more people spread it, share it with the people. The more people will know themselves. And that's what I believe worth it. To give or to dig something and to remember who we really are. And to have this tool at home to analyze anytime we need the path.
Thank you so much. So, guys, girls, women, my ladies, my man, the audience, everyone listening, I will put all the information in the description box where you can find Anton, how to reach out to him, the code if you want to have that session, which I highly, highly push everyone to do it. Like we said in this episode, go with no expectation and just give it a shot. Yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. So on that note, I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.